Hello and welcome back, and we're here today with the 5000 that we're going to be borrowing some bits from. So you can see there the pinch roller assembly, which differs slightly to the one in the 6500 in the fact that it's actually there. So you can see here compared to here, so I was sort of on the money as to where that pinch roller would actually live. So removing this piece, there is a little piece of plastic here which covers the top holes there, and there's a couple of small cross-headed screws here which hold this onto the cradle here, and you can just carefully eject it to remove the cover. 3 cross-headed screws at the rear, and quite simply cover lifts off like that. Very simple, pretty elegant and easy to maintain. All of the boards, or the main boards, are located here with a large board underneath. The deck itself, as you can tell, is very similar to the 6500, if not identical. And what we need to do is we need to get this cassette cradle out of the way, and that is held in with a couple of crossheads, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So I am going to get this out of the way, and you will meet me back, if that's even a phrase, once we have this out of the way. We can have a bit of a better look to see what's missing on the 6500. So let's get started. I actually missed a pair of screws. There's another screw here, which the screwdriver is currently on, as you can see there, and one on the other side as well, which also need to be removed because they seem to hold the actual cassette cradle onto the main chassis of the machine, which on these machines is actually plastic. They were sort of the first, in a way, of affordable video recorders, but that was obviously done by the widespread use of plastic. I mean, this entire deck is some kind of moulded plastic. It's very, very thick, and it's actually lasted the course. It's still in one piece, there's no cracks or anything, but that's probably because it's hidden away out of sight. If it was exposed to light, it probably would have disintegrated long ago by now. So, that's enough of my waffling. I am going to get in and get this out of the way. So I've actually realised something with these decks. Because you have this little damped wheel in the way, which basically mates onto here and stops the cradle from just flying up, it means that you can't actually get this out very easily. What you can do, however, is release this side and then pop this out of here, so you can fold the entire assembly upwards like that. And let's have a look now to see what differences we have in here compared to the 6500. So far I can't notice any differences, obviously, apart from the I've completely forgotten what that's called, pinch roller. There is obviously a spring on the pinch roller, and that's the spring that we see there. So what I need to do is to pop off this little circlip and carefully remove the pinch roller assembly complete with its spring, noting that there is a bit of the spring poking up there, which obviously means that it can do that, and that will be the first thing that I'm going to replace. I'm not really a fan of these circlips. They work very well, it's just getting them off is a bit of a pain, so you do need some needle nose pliers, very thin needle nose pliers, just to grip, basically grip this part here and then you have a flat blade screwdriver just to push at the bottom to ease it off. And as you can see, it's actually come off quite easily. So I should be able to very carefully work this up its post. And you can see that spring and how it's attached. And we don't want it to fly off or anything, so I can carefully work that up the post, as you see there. You see the spring slightly uncoiling, so that comes up like so, and the spring literally just sits on there and hooks into there. So I'm going to leave the spring here on this one, put that one out of the way, and I'm going to trial fit the pinch roller that was on the 6500. So what you would have to do is obviously put the pinch roller into position here. You would need to push this behind, so the spring goes behind the pinch roller arm assembly, and then the pinch roller will just go down onto the post like so. You probably need two hands to do it, to be honest, because what you could do is you could get a flat blade to push that back. Once that's locked into the casting of the arm on the pinch roller, that can be pushed all the way down, and that will be installed. So I'm actually just going to try that, just so I can learn how to trial fit it. So trial fitting complete, and that seems to work. The way I did it was I actually found that the post itself pulled out. I don't know if it should pull out, but it seemed to pull out easily enough. What I did then was I had the little bits of the spring on this side of the arm assembly, and I had this piece here which sits behind there poking out here, so the whole thing was 90 degrees out. Put the post in, let that sit onto the plastic mould, bring it around, and then using a screwdriver just flip the other arm of the spring, end of the spring, over onto there, and there you go. You've now got a springy pinch roller. The next thing that I want to remove is this assembly. So we've got this belt here, and we have obviously the idler assembly here, which flips between take up here and the rewind spool there. So take up, spool there. And to do that, there is a little circlip on here again, which we need to remove, which I will just get this flat blade. So I haven't got my needle nose pliers with me at the moment, and very gently point it out of the way like that, so it flies off into orbit. It will be around in the machine, so I just need to give it a bit of a shake to find it, so it's not the end of the world. And I have another one ready to go on the 6500, and also you can buy them, so not terrible. So there are some washers that we need to be aware of. There is a little washer here, or there was. It's probably sat inside. Yes, it is. It's inside there at the moment. This little tiny belt comes off like so, and that will come out of the way. Then you have this cog here which comes off this shaft, and there is a washer in there and also a washer there, and then the actual pinch idler itself just comes up and off of that shaft and out of the machine. And that's that. What I'm going to do, so obviously I don't lose them and they are back in somewhere, is the ones which were on the 6500 I'm going to put back in here, because it then just means that I know I've got to get the relevant items for them. So the first one that's going to go back in is this one. It also means that the machine, in my eyes, is then not completely trashed, and it will be repaired at some point. We've got a little washer that needs to go into there, so we'll just fetch said washer, put it on the end of the finger, and there it goes. There's the washer. Then this goes over the top. There's no belt because it had snapped. This goes over the top like so, and then you have the circlip, which I'll find in a moment, which slides back over the top. So in the next video we're actually going to be putting these items onto the 6500, and it will probably be at that point that we'll actually be able to see if it's a viable project, if it is actually going to work. And I've just found that little circlip. It is literally there. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.